A little tutorial on landing the F-5. So what we have here is an F-5 approaching Anderson Air Force Base, and we're going to start at the default 6,500 feet, 340 knots. And what we're going to do is we're going to slow down to about 200 knots as we approach the Air Force Base, and then we're going to enter the downwind leg for runway 24 left at a 45-degree angle to that downwind leg, which is down with the wind. The wind is blowing this way, so this is downwind. And then we'll come down here and we'll turn base, which is perpendicular to the runway, and then we'll turn final. And we want about 1,000 feet above the airfield altitude, which is 600 feet, as you can see down here. So we want about 1,600 feet for our approach, at least until we turn final. Then we'll start our descent. So let's take a look at how we do that. You know what? Let's make this a little faster. Make it about 500 knots, but not quite so high. Maybe 4,000 feet. All right, we'll save that, and we'll start. And we'll look at the speed brake use, because we're going to want to slow down, like I said, about 200 knots, and then we want to touch down at about 150. All right, here we go. We're going to start our descent. Right now, I do not have the speed brake out. Let's go ahead and get that out. All right. And we'll continue our descent. We'll maintain our current heading. Remember, we're going to descend to about 1,600 feet. We're going to try to slow to about 200 knots. Power is all the way back. And we're going to start our slowing our descent here. At about 250, I can put my gear down. And so going to do that here now. I'll go ahead and get my speed brake back up. Let's check that. I don't know why it didn't come up when I first tried it, but anyhow, whoa, getting a little low, adding power so I can get my altitude back. And I've got 200 knots on my airspeed indicator. That looks pretty good. Do want to get a little higher though, adding a little more power, pulling my nose up. All right, we're going to go ahead and turn right. So I think the runway was 24, so we want a reciprocal, which is going to be about 0.6, I think. And if you look down here at our DG, you can see the 2.4. If we put that at the bottom, and yeah, 0.6 is our heading. And we got a little high, that's okay. We'll just maintain this, pulling back on the power a little. And once we come abreast or beam the end of the runway, I could start my descent. Going to try to maintain that 1,600, which is 1,000 feet above the runway altitude. And we are just beyond a beam of the runway, the end of the runway. Go a little further. Get about maybe 45-degree angle on that. Green lights on my gear. It is down. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn base. That will turn perpendicular to the runway. Keep an eye on it. We'll go ahead and start a descent. A gradual descent. Try to maintain that 200 knots. If we want to look at our DG to get a perpendicular heading, we can just put that 2.4 there straight off to the left on that DG. If you don't want to do the math. Getting a little low, adding power. We'll maintain this. Alright, we'll go ahead and start a nice gradual turn to final. And our final approach heading will be 240 on our comp. Whoa, and I've overshot. Misjudged that. That's alright. We have time to correct. We'll just turn left to a heading of about, I don't know, whatever it takes. And I do want 2.4 left. There's a 2.4 right also. We don't want that. Coming back on my power. Don't want to get below 150. Adding power because I'm a little too low. Adding more power. Coming back on my power. I've got the runway made. Power is all the way back. Gonna go ahead and descend and then start I touched down a little too fast, but that's alright, it wasn't too hard. Still haven't mapped my toe brake, so I'm using W on my keyboard to slow down. I do have a drag sheet. Let's pull that. Why not? See what that looks like. Okay, approach and landing in the F-5E. There you have it.